Hello, this is Malorian, and this is going to be my first game of the 2010 Halloween tournament we had. And in the first game here, I got matched up against Skaven. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to say about these games here is one, I had to borrow a camera for this, so sorry about the flashy pictures, I just don't know the settings well enough yet. And second of all, they really wanted to go terrain light just to try and help speed things up. And so that's why, and nothing even really had any magical effects. So really, for the most part, a lot of the terrain almost had no effect on it. But anyway, in this first game, the game was one where there's these zombies. So you'll see there's 6 zombies spread around. They're basically going to be moving around with like fanatics. However, they can't be killed, and whatever damage they do, because they do D6 strength 2 hits whenever they go through a unit, then whatever models they deal a wound to also become zombies. So all of a sudden you can have lots of zombies going all over the place. So that's going to be causing trouble for all of us. Looking across, I got some chariots on the left side, got all my blocks there, you know, a nice standard deployment mirror. And for him at the top left, he has that lightning warp cannon, he has 2 sets of gutter runners, some Dizales. The Nobblers, those are actually slaves. He has a warp fire thrower thing in the front. He has a big unit of those the elite rats, and that even has that special character Queek in them. And there's even that other special character, that assassin that's in the middle of the board right now. That's somewhere, Snick or whatever it's called. And then on the right there, you can see they have another big block of rats that has a Grayseer, and there's one of those lobber, you know, poison guys behind the tower. And then you can see from this side of the board that really my deployment is really just a mirror of itself. And then he also has that plague catapult at the top right. I got Lore Life for this one, which gave me the regeneration and the Throne of Vines. And really my plan here is just to run up and just to beat him up. You know, he has no place to hide that Grayseer. I can just rush all those weak things on the left side and his war machines with my chariot. I'm a little bit worried about that one unit of his, that elite one with the halberds and the special character, but you know, I'm pretty sure that when I team up on it, it won't be a problem. So that's all it is. So turn 1 for the Orcs, I move up. You know, I have really no shooting, so and for my magic, I tried going for Throne of Vines. I got with Irresistible Force, but then I failed the 2+ to ignore the miscast and did a little blast to my guys, so took a wound and killed a couple of my archers. And from this picture here, you can already see that there's a bunch more zombies starting to show up, and so I'm going to try and speed past them, but yeah, I'm pretty sure these guys are going to make a lot of trouble for me. Alright, so this next picture is my turn 2, and we forgot his picture because really, first of all, he didn't really do very much. He just really stayed right there where he was. The zombies going around did more damage to me than his things. Actually, he pretty much misfired across the board, except for his warp flame cannon thing that didn't really go any distance. But then his mortar thing blew up, and his plague catapult blew up. So that's in my favor. And these slings, I didn't realize how deadly these slings were. And so they did a whole bunch of damage to me. And so on my turn, I'm just kind of moved up. I actually declared my wall this turn, so I could try and get ahead of all of these zombies that you start seeing building up behind my line. But yeah, and in my turn, I charged up with that unit of night goblins, beat a unit of slaves. Of course, there's no panics because it's slaves. But it wasn't until the end of my turn that I realized I didn't move my blocks. You know, I wad up, and then the Black Orcs, they failed to charge on the other slaves, but my 2 big blocks of Orcs and the other ones of night goblins didn't move. So the only reason I can think of why this happened is because, you know, we were just so busy trying to take care of all these zombies going around. I was getting a lot of rules questions from other people, and in fact, you're going to see my opponent skitter leaped his engineer behind my lines and to shoot the Doom Rocket, forgot it for 2 turns, and eventually it just got hit by a zombie and got turned into a zombie. So it was kind of a game of stupidity, but it was just a really complicated mission. And on this side, you can see that engineer that's there, and just me slowly moving up, even though I should be a lot farther. So his turn 2, he decides not to charge or flank or anything, and he just, you know, zombies still going around. He went and destroyed the 1 board chariot, went and killed a couple of my Black Orcs there with that flamethrower, and that's really all that happened during his turn. And here's just a fast picture from this side again. Alright, so my turn. My chariot trides charging on the left side, got destroyed, moved over that big block of orcs. Those night goblins, even though I just kind of did the guys on the side, have reformed to be facing the flank of that elite unit of his. So I'm trying to pin them in. Actually, that big brown unit of his is inside the tower, and my units are charging him on the right side. And actually, this is where his special character assassin is. I'm trying to direct some attacks at him. I didn't do any damage this time, and I actually lost combat and got pushed out. I actually only lost one guy, but anyway, yeah. So now that's great. So knowing that that assassin's there, now I can really feel free to really push up and try and kill and just smash through those last what do you call them, slaves, so I can get to that elite unit with maybe 3 of my blocks at once. And here's just a horribly bright picture of his assassin bravely defending the tower. Alright, so his turn 3, he gets off that dreaded 13th spell on my bunker here and kills everyone except for my general. So that's no good. There's a big chunk of points for him. And to continue the bad luck, that flamethrower turned around, killed some of those night goblins, which were now out of range of my general, so they panicked, ran off the board. He did a bunch of shooting into the left orc unit. They panicked and ran. So it's really, I'm really kicking myself for not moving them, because really that entire side of the board should have been just destroyed by them, but because of my stupidity, now this game is looking to be in fairly rough shape. So my turn 4, and at this point things have been going so long that this is going to be the last turn. My black orcs and my night goblins charged the slaves. They actually fled and I caught them. My big block rallies. I charged back into the tower. I actually killed that special character assassin this time. I still lost combat, but at least that's a big chunk of points for me. And my general can't manage to get to a unit, so he's just kind of running around with all these zombies everywhere. You can imagine, we have to do the scatter for each one of these zombies every single player turn, and that was just taking up so much time. And seeing as how I developed this scenario, I was feeling kind of foolish. Alright, so doing a quick point tally, we realized that I'm actually ahead at this point, because I actually destroyed that flamethrower thing when I was charging through. But anyway, so he goes for the big charge. So it's his elite unit charging into my black orcs, and it looks like, this is going to be it. He's going for that big punch, and if he doesn't get this, who knows. And from what you can see here, he did beat me, he broke me, took my banner, but I got away. So this is actually something my opponent didn't know, the whole thing where if you don't flee off the board, he doesn't get points for them. So anything that's fleeing and still there, he doesn't get that big 400 points that unit's worth. So that's huge. And then he also tried shooting at my general. His warp lightning cannon misfired, but it didn't destroy itself. But anyway, we added up the points at this stage, and it turned out that actually I was only ahead by 57 points, so it was a tie. So my thoughts on this game, I really think I didn't win because of my stupidity. Had I moved up my units earlier, I would have had one more round of combat against that tower. After that assassin was dead, I would have started beating them, and of course Skaven don't have ranks in towers, so there's a good chance that they would break. And on the left side, I could have cleared that out with that left block instead of it panicking. And I can just chalk this up to so many things going on with all the zombies. So many people are coming up to me for questions, just because I'm kind of the veteran guy here at the club. And so yeah, just the way the first game went, it was still a tie, lots of fun. So thanks for watching, and the next one will be coming up soon.